Yo, Brodie Fresh, what's the word, man? You tapped in with PPhilms, man.
Ain't nothing, man. Coolin'. How's everything?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Pleasure to have you here, man.
Pleasure to be here. It's been a little minute. We took
What?
like 4 months, you know what I'm saying? A little
Facts.
pandemic gap, but we here though. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So we're gonna get straight to it, man. So tell the people a little bit, like, where you from and what it was like growing up. Where you from?
So I was born in Hollis, Queens. I moved from there when I was like 6, 7. Moved to Elmont. So I was raised in Elmont, Long Island. You know what I'm saying? Man, it changed a lot over the years, so it's hard to really reflect on one certain part about Elmont, but it was cool. You know, it was a small environment. You know, everybody knew each other. Everybody, for the most part, everybody went to the same elementary, middle school, all that. So,
Bet.
but it was cool. You know?
Bet. What would you say is like? I know you say you can't really get into all the changes, but what are, if you could remember, some of the changes from when you was growing up to now, or certain things you had to deal with being out here?
In Elmont, for real, when I first moved to Elmont, it wasn't really it wasn't too much black people back then, for real. That was when the HUD started maneuvering over there. For some reason, they thought that Elmont was an escape for all things HUD. So they started moving to Elmont, and before you know it, the whole everywhere lived in Elmont. You know what I'm saying? So it really changed a lot over the years, for real.
But and you moved out. I think you were saying something in the interview. You moved out there with your dad or something, right?
Yeah, facts. Yep.
Got you.
I moved over there with my pops. My mom lived in Far Rock, and I lived. We moved to Elmont.
Okay. I also seen, you know what I'm saying, like something about you saying, like, I think when you was 1, he had got shot or something like that, and that kind of.
The year before I was born. Yeah.
Oh wow. What?
My pops got shot. Yeah.
That was like an accident, or was it like an?
He actually went to. My mom used to work at Rikers.
Yeah.
He went to go pick up from work. He jumped out the car on the corner trying to take a leak real quick. He had a big old dookie chain, all that extra, the old school shit on, and somebody just, you know what I mean, like, let me get that. My pop's 6'6", so he ain't even think nothing of it at first. Before he turned around, they hit him. So.
God damn. And how did that situation impact you?
Man, a lot. I mean, my pops, from that incident, he lost. They told him that he lost too much blood, so they had to cut like below his ankle.
God damn.
So like I never known my pops with, you know what I mean, like a 2 legs. You know what I mean, like I've never known him for that. So growing up, that affected a lot of things in the sense of like being able to, do certain things with your pops.
Got you, like sports wise and all that.
You know what I mean, like stuff like that. Like a lot of that, I couldn't really learn it from him because he only had 1 leg. So. Got
you. It's crazy you said that. So what niggas just because you feel like because of his size, niggas
Probably.
did that, like.
His size, and he was wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a wild nigga. So,
like nobody was trying like that.
Sometimes God got to slow you down, and I feel like now looking at it, it might have been a blessing for him. We don't really know what the real reason is for it, but at the end of the day, it put him in a certain position, and he still was able to maneuver and do what he had to do with it. So. Got
you. Now I know you also said like you couldn't. I know you saying like. You couldn't really ride bikes with him and do all that. I know you couldn't really play sports as well, like because you suffer from like asthma or something. Like, what was that like? What was that as a kid growing up, dealing with them situations?
The crazy thing is, I really don't even remember much about like how bad I had it. You know what I'm saying? It's more like stories that I hear from the family. Like they tell me about how bad it was for me to, if I run from a little short distance, I'd be foaming from the mouth. I gotta go to the hospital on the ventilator, all that type of stuff. So,
oh shit.
I ended up, I guess, growing out of it. Like, my pops took me to this, my pops and his mans, they jumped in the car and drove to PA to try to take me to some convention, like a church convention. At that time, my pops wasn't even into church at all. So it was like his mans was really on him, like, yo, you gotta go do this. And I went, he stood in line for like 3-4 hours waiting for me to be next. And right when we was next, they was like, yo, the line is cut off. So I never got to see the pastor. And then when he drove back, like a week later, like from that point on, I ain't have asthma ever again, for real.
God
so
damn.
I don't even know, like, I couldn't even, being real with you, I couldn't even tell you what it's like to really have asthma because I don't remember.
Wow.
Like after that point, I grew up, I played sports, I boxed, I played basketball, I played lacrosse, football, everything. I had no idea that ever even occurred, you know what I'm saying, until,
he expressed that to you. Yeah. We're going to get to that because I seen you explain that. I'm like, nah, I got to really tap into that. But
it's crazy because my doctor growing up, Dr. Gosselin is on Springfield and Hempstead, you know what I'm saying, by the White Castle. So Gosselin was my mom's doctor too, because she's from Hollis. So like my parents from Hollis. So he like was really like for real, like, oh boy, like listen, like, I know your mom since your mom was a kid. Like you really, it was bad. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So imagine you getting older now, you 15, 16, like Man, like I ain't had no asthma. I don't remember none of that, but
but it was
real.
actually,
It was real.
that's crazy. Now, do you feel like that whole experience, him going out there for all that time, do you feel like that whole experience is what made him become a pastor?
Definitely part of it. I mean, it's what gave him faith. I mean, because him growing up, the way that he grew up, he didn't really have much to look up to. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like somebody putting in his ear, like, oh, this is something that you can believe in, like, and then him seeing it for himself, especially at that time where, like what happened with his leg and all that. So he was already dealing with a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to put it in that perspective. My pops was like 22 or 23 when I was born, so that happened to him early. You feel me? He was like 21 when he got shot. So. It seemed far away from me, but at the end of the day, he was young. So
yeah, that's a fact.
To deal with that then, like at 23, 24, it probably put a lot of things into perspective for his life.
That's what's up. Now let's shift over a little bit to the music. I know with him, you said that he has something to look forward to going into a religion and finding his faith. With him being a pastor, do you feel like you have an obligation to not misrepresent him in the music, or you feel like that's separate?
I feel like we actually talked about this before, me and my pops, but it's my pops, I feel like, at the end of the day, a pastor, because I look at church completely different now, like, than when I did when I grew up.
Okay.
But it's like, I feel like, at the end of the day, it's like everybody in the world knows what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you could basically, the way I see them is like, they sell hope. You feel me? Like, they give people hope and things to believe in. When people couldn't believe, they instill certain things into them for them to actually see things for their life. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
with my music, for the majority, I really talk about my life and the struggles and the things that I went through. So I feel like it's just another outlet to do the same thing at the end of the day. I just feel like, and I tell my pops all the time, until you get to a stage of like a Creflo or a TD Jakes, for the most part, even regardless of who you are, an artist is going to reach a bigger audience than the pastor. You know what I'm saying? So he might be able to save the people that he can save, and I might be able to save people just by inspiring them. In a different avenue, but as long as it inspires them to do something positive with their life, then you good. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Do you ever feel like it could possibly conflict with your beliefs, or you feel like as long as you're pushing the right message?
I think as long as you do things that you feel like you can pray on, I think you're straight. Even with like people say a lot of things, but I feel like even with things you do outside, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're not doing something to hurt nobody or kill nobody, then you could pray over that for real. Like this, because it might be a segue into whatever you're trying to do.
That's a fact.
And I feel like God understands that. That's how I feel. Like, you know what I mean? Like he know that the world ain't perfect, so he might be like, oh, so I'm trying to, make a little money to get to the next level. And when he gets to that next level, now he could help an even bigger audience of people. So sometimes, I think it's straight.
Got you. So I know, you've been on tour with like King Los, Corey Guns, and many more. Like, explain that first time you went on tour, what that experience was like.
First time I went on tour was King Los, 2013. Like, it actually started on my birthday. So my birthday is May 26th. And I had met a guy named Ernie who owns a label called After Platinum. Like, it was like a management / label.
Gotcha.
And Corey Guns was signed to them, King Los, another kid named Amir Obe. They was all signed to them. So I had bumped into him. Like, I had hit him up before one time to try to get a feature from Corey Guns in like 2012. And we chopped it up a couple times, and I ended up being at A3C Festival and bumping into him at a studio, at DTP actually, at Luda's studio.
Yeah.
He walked in, him, King Los, Trade the Truth, like, and now I'm like, yo, are you Ernie from After Platinum? He's like, yeah. He ended up realizing it was me, and we built off of that. And the opportunity came around, and it was like, oh, King Los about to go on tour. And I was like, yo, what's up? Like, how do I get on that? You know what I'm saying? Now, I was new. I was brand new at rapping. So I just tried to figure it out. And he said, listen, the first show is, May 26th in Dallas, Texas. It's like 4 days before the tour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sheesh. Like, I'm like, all right.
How you gonna get out there?
Yeah, I had a Honda Civic, I had an SI, we all jumped, it was like 4 of us, we jumped in the car was I had my car dropped, lowered, so the car was so low with the bags, the car wouldn't move, so
God damn.
the publicist I worked with at the time, she had like a little like Honda Accord, so we switched cars, and I jumped in her car, and I drove to Texas, and we followed them all the way through.
That's what's up,
It was a hike, it was definitely, it's definitely crazy.
Hell yeah, that's damn near cross country, son.
Yeah, it was all the way across country. It was all the way across Elmont to Texas to Dallas. It was a little ride. I ain't gonna lie, but we got it done. It was dope.
Word. What would you say is like the most valuable lesson you learned out there on tour?
For real, just learning to build with people, you know, and tell your story, because you'd be surprised how many people in the crowd could relate to everything you're going through. A lot of people, you know, especially at that time, I was like 22, 23 years old. A lot of people was in college. They was trying to figure out what they want to do with their life. I mean, they was struggling just like I was, for real.
Yeah.
So, you know, just being vulnerable and being, I mean, not vulnerable, being open with the people, you know what I'm saying? And you could build off of that.
Yeah, like more so like relatable and all
Right.
that. Got you. So, all right, so you touring, releasing music, networking, as you said, and then, you know, the morning of April 24th, 2017, you and a friend of yours, you know, get arrested. Can you talk about that? Like what occurred, or?
I mean, without getting too crazy into it, but you know, pretty much I was driving home, giving somebody a ride home, and I got pulled over. Cops, you know, they want to search the car, they smell weed, all that good stuff, and like caught a hammer charge. So ended up dealing with that for like a year and a half. You know, thank God I came out on the other side with the victory, and that was it. You know, it definitely set a lot back, because at that time I was doing a lot with the music, and a lot of good things was happening. Like I had a record that was on the radio that was moving. You know, it got premiered by Ebro. Flex was playing it. It was going crazy. I had 13 radio stations. And then it was like, boom, pause. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It kind of just stopped everything.
Damn. What's like going back to that day? Like what was running through your mind when you seen like they pulling you over? You know they're gonna search the car, or you?
I was tight. I was just like, you know, I was the only car on the highway, for real. You know, I had a BMW.
It was like 2 in the morning, right?
Yeah, like 2 in the morning. Like it's like you know, at the end of the day, being a black guy in America, you already know what the possibility is. So
Facts.
it's like me getting pulled over, there ain't nobody on the highway. You know they're gonna try to do something they could do to take advantage. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
you know, it ended up happening, but I at this point I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It was just a lesson.
A lesson. There you go. Lesson to learn. Word. How much time y'all was facing?
5 to 9 years.
God damn.
Yeah, just got bailed out, and I mean, I fought it from the outside. So, thank God. Thank God. Shout out to the homies that held it down and helped to get me out. So.
Got you. Now, what would you say like that moment in your life taught you? I know you say you learned, but it was a lesson.
I would say, for real, it taught me that you can't trust everybody. I mean,
Why you say that? Like,
you got to be cautious with how you move and who you help, and just really, you know, you gotta be cautious with yourself and who you surround yourself with, because at the end of the day, everybody's out for themselves. You know, a lot of people's not out to help anybody. You know what I'm saying? So. Got
you. Bet. Now I noticed, you know, I was scrolling through the gram. I noticed you were in the studio with Fabio. You know, guys like Flip De Niro, Dom Kennedy. Can we expect to hear those tracks anytime soon?
For sure. Me and Fabio did something early this year.
Yeah.
So I did that record. I got a record with Dom Kennedy, which was super crazy to me. But, you know, it was a blessing. He actually heard the record through one of my peoples out there, played him a record, and he really liked it. And he was like, yo, I want to jump on that. I sent him the session, and he sent it back, and it was history. So. Got you.
But
yeah, me and Flip got something fire too. So yeah, the project I'm releasing, I'm gonna definitely have all that on there.
All right, any videos with that, or is just the audio?
Yeah, for sure. Me and Flip actually already shot the video. Me and Fabio gonna be doing something soon. We was trying to wait for this cold to pass, but it was more of a summertime type of record. But
Got you.
And the same thing with Dom. I gotta get back out there. I ain't go over there in a minute because of COVID. So when I get over there, you know, we definitely gonna knock that video.
For sure. Bet. I know it seems like you hinting towards an album or EP or something like that. Is any truth to that?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely I'm looking to drop something probably like towards the end of first quarter. I mean, but I'm about to start releasing now from the top of the year. I'm gonna just start.
That's what's up. Can we get a name?
Too much songs at this point. Yeah.
Any names for the project, or you ain't trying to release that?
Yeah, it's called Lost and Found.
Got you.
Lost and Found.
All right. And with the people, when you give the music to the people after listening to your project, what would you want them to understand about you, learn about you with this particular project?
For real, I just want them to see the versatility. You know, like I talk about it, I touch a lot of different areas of my life, so I want them to see the versatility with everything and just, you know what I mean, like build off of that. You know, I feel like there's a lot of stories that I'm telling from different stages in my life, not just now. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of taking them all the way back. So the reason why the project's called Lost and Found is because like I feel like I lost myself and I found myself in that same space. You know what I'm saying? So in the struggles and the things that I went through, I lost myself, but then I found myself.
Got you.
It kind of gave me a direction to move forward to. So I want them to be able, really want to capture all of that. I want them to see all of it from the beginning, from when I first started doing music, from before music, I mean, all the way to today. You know what I mean? So.
Bet. Now I know you say you feel like you lost yourself and found yourself? What are some of the things you feel like you was tripping over that made you lose yourself?
Really just being young. I mean, like, my parents moved when I was 19, so, you know, from that point on, they left New York, and I stayed in New York by myself trying to pursue music.
Yeah.
So, you know, everything that, I feel like I dealt with every possible struggle there was as an adult and a young man trying to just figure it out in life, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, sleeping in a car, being homeless, you know, sleeping couch to couch. Like, I went through everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, doing everything I had to do to try to survive. So, you know, I lost a lot. I lost a lot of time, you know what I mean, just trying to figure it out because I feel like I didn't have the full guidance to be like, oh, this is how you do this, or this is, so a lot of things I spent bumping my head and trying to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? But in that same, you know, time frame, you know, I learned a lot. So that's why I feel like I found myself and really what I wanted to do and what I was good at and what my purpose was, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, before we get out of here, is there anything you want to let the people know before you release this project? And, you know what I mean, something we didn't touch on this throughout this interview?
Something we didn't touch.
Yeah. Something you just want to let the people know.
Man, for real, I just want everybody to be in tune. Like, coming from where we from, in Omaha, there's not a lot to look up to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm really doing my best to play my part to really do that. And I feel like a lot of times people are or they feel like they too cool to go back and be with the people and give back and do certain things. And it's like, I think it's important for us to really, really put a spotlight on our city and just Long Island as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because I've worked with everybody. Everywhere, not just New York. I mean, I got records. I have records with Mano, with Troy Ave, with I mean, like a ton of Chinks. I had records with Chinks when he was alive. You know what I mean? Like, so I've worked with different people from every borough. Dave East, like, you know, multiple people. You know, and even getting a tour, like, you know, before the COVID, I was on tour with Mozzie. I did 23 cities with Mozzie. So it's like, you know, touring the country and seeing different things, like seeing how people really build up their neighborhoods, even though it's bad or a struggle or whatever it might be, they build up the people in their neighborhood to show them that there's something, that they can be something. And I feel like there's not enough of that in Long Island and just where we from, period. Everybody trying to compete to be the best person out this small area, like we can't all win, you know what I'm saying? So I just think it's important for you know, everybody to know that you can win.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Let me be the example, because I really, really, really was at the bottom with nothing and figured it out, you know what I'm saying? So
that's what's up. That's what's up. Now I always tell people to do this before we get out of here. Just name 3 people that you would want to see tap in with PPhilms.
I want to see tap in with you.
Word. It could be people in your circle, people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
anyway,
sure.
You see doing
definitely
thing.
the whole team. You know, I got the record label, Pop Stranger Records. You know, we got a lot of artists that we working, we building with. You know, we got Ray Gatz, we got my guy Gliz, we got Jordan Ariel, Money Made Eli. We got a real like solid squad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and definitely want to see you tapping with them for sure. Man, I want to see you expand. I want to see you hit the West. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk off camera, but I want to tap you in with some people. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. I appreciate that.
But yeah, you know, I think it'd be dope for you to interview Dom, for real.
I would
Dom
love
got
to.
a lot to say.
I would love to.
Dom got a lot to say, and he did a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, Dom would be dope. Man, I don't know, from New York. Man, I don't know. I feel like New York sounds so much alike right now that
that's a
like
fact.
certain niggas I don't even want you to tap in with, because you tapped in with a twin. Like, you feel me? Like, ain't much versatility out here right now. So it's like, man, I feel like you gotta go travel somewhere else. For real. I think Westside Boogie would be somebody dope for you to tap in. You know what I mean?
That's smooth. That's smooth.
You know,
a lot of West Coast dudes.
Yeah, a lot of West Coast. You know, he on the East right now. He in Atlanta, but
a world.
He in Atlanta, but you know, he signed with LVRN, so the same people that signed Black and Summer Walker and all of them.
Okay.
But and I'm trying to think from New York who I want you to tap in. Man, tap in with my guy Millie's from Boston. That's my guy.
Got you.
Yeah. That's
but well, I mean, you said it on camera, so I'm gonna put some pressure on you about some of these people.
I'm an open book. I'm willing to help anybody that's helping themselves. You feel me? So that's my only thing I ever ask. You put in work, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help you move the sticks. You know what I'm saying? Especially from the town. So.
Word. Likewise. Well, Brodie Fresh, I appreciate you for tapping in.
King.
Word. I just want to say, you know what I mean? You from the town. I always tell people I'm definitely biased when it's people from the town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We supporting you, and you definitely got the whole platform of PPhilms and Kellerfellas support behind you. You heard? All right, let's get it.
Love.